Welcome to EasyBuildWebsite.com. This series of tutorials is for those who are just starting out on the internet. This is not going to be an advanced series. You may have looked everywhere for a simple explanation of how to get started, and you may have even had a couple of false starts. But because of a bad economy and the need to make some money, or you're maybe a business that's just strapped for cash, you have not given up and you still want to have an internet presence. You want to make it happen. Well, I can help you. I've been on the internet for the past 15 years, and even though much of it is radically changed, it isn't as scary a place as you might think. You can actually have a website up and running in a couple of hours for as little as $60. And you may not believe that, but it's true. My name is Wink Farron. I'm here to help you, so let's get started. On the screen you see the most important part of the process. Believe it or not, it's picking a domain name. That can be something very challenging, but that's what has to happen first. Don't think about all the other complicated parts of getting a web hoster and putting up a WordPress blog and all the things that people are telling you. Sit down and pick out a good domain name, because that's going to be what pays in the long run. So let's take a look. What is a domain name? A website is the new family business, and it needs to have a business address for the internet, and that's what your domain name is. An internet address can look like this, just like mine, easybuildwebsite.com. The http:// is just a universal resource locator piece of code that's needed. But browsers and the internet have become much smarter, and you don't need to type all that in. If you just type in easybuildwebsite.com, or in the old days it used to be www.easybuildwebsite.com, and you can still type the W's in. They stand for World Wide Web, but you don't need to anymore. If you just put easybuildwebsite.com, you're going to come to my site. If you just put your domain name in after we get everything up and running, just the short version of it, they're gonna show up at your doorstep too. Now, picking out a domain name can be challenging, so you'll need to consider a few things first. Number one, what kind of business do you have? And it's important to think through this. Get yourself a pad and a pen and sit down and, first of all, write down what you believe your business is and then what services you offer, because those are going to play into some of the things we're going to do in the future here. And secondly, do you want to be known by a brand name or what you do? Let me explain that. A business might be selling cars and have a domain name like www.bestusedcars.com. That is straight ahead, forward, easy to identify. If I was searching for used cars in a location somewhere, or just looking for a local business, and I pulled that up on the internet, Best Used Cars would tell me exactly what it is they did, which is they're a car dealership that sells used cars, and Best would indicate to me that they believe their cars are the best for me. That's a great business name. That's a great domain name, and it's a great address. However, if you are a business that's been in the area for some 70 years, say your name is Harrison Motors. Harrison Motors doesn't tell me much other than a person named Harrison or a family named Harrison has something to do with motors, be they battery-operated motors, diesel motors, gas motors, electric motors. We don't know, but we know that their name is Harrison and they have something to do with motors. However, the local community may know of this wonderful car dealership that's been in the area for over 80 years. And so if you have that kind of presence, it's easy just to put that up on the web and use it as a business card. That's a good thing. You can make announcements, you can introduce new staff, you can run contests, all kinds of things. It becomes part of the community endeavor. So here's the rule of thumb. If you are starting out, choose a domain name that says who you are and what you do. If you're well known, then choose a domain name that is familiar to your customers, such as your brand. Now, Once you've decided on a domain name, or it would probably be good to pick out 2 or 3, then see if it's available. And the place I like to do that is Namecheap.com. So let's take a trip over there. See you there. Okay, here we are at Namecheap.com, and you'll notice right here at the top they have a place to search for domain names. And you will notice that you can check what it is you are looking for as far as the extensions. They do have more extensions available if you need them. But what we're going to do is just take a look at something that's probably the most searched for name on the internet, which is dog training. Oh my goodness, there are just thousands, maybe millions, but dog training. So we put that in that box, we check .com, and then we come over here and we click on search and we see what's available. And truth is, I doubt if there's much available. Yep, just as I expected, all of these are taken. The .us, the .org, the .net, the .me. Somebody may have told you that it's important to have .com. And yes, at one time it was more important to have .com because so many people know .com, but to tell you the honest truth, the vast majority, over 95% is the figure, search for a website through Google, Yahoo, or Bing. And they're not putting in .coms, they're just putting in what it is they're looking for, dog training. Okay. So if they live, say, in El Segundo or La Mirada, they'll put in dog training La Mirada. So what you want to have, if you're a dog trainer, is in that URL name of yours, that domain name, you want to have the words dog training. And so here's a trick you can do. You can say, well, all the dog training is taken. No, not exactly. I did this before, so it'll probably pop up. If you put in, if your name is Danny, let's say, okay, let's put in your name, D-A-N-N-Y, and the internet doesn't have apostrophes as far as URLs are concerned, so you can't use an apostrophe, but you just put an S there. Danny's Dog Training. Now, I tried this, and we put that in. So dog training is still there. It's still going to come up on the search engine. It's still going to be seen in the local community search. Okay? Plus, it's going to be personalized. People will know that a guy named Danny is doing dog training when it comes up on the page. Plus, being longer and having it more personal is going to push it further to the front of Google. Isn't that interesting? It does work, though. So let's see if Danny's Dog Training is available. Let's click on the search. And sure enough, it is. In the most, probably one of the most searched phrases, dog training on the internet, Danny's Dog Training. There must not be too many Dannys that are doing dog training because it's available. And if your name is Danny, head over to Namecheap and get it. Because it's there. Now, one thing I need to tell you is that when you sign up, if you're not signed up for a hosting company and you need to do that next, you've got your domain name picked out, don't purchase right away. Don't purchase your domain name right away, because when we go over to sign up for a hosting company, they're going to provide you with your first domain name, and that will be part of your package, and your fees that you're paying over there are going to annually renew that domain name. Okay? So hold off buying it. We just use this to do the searching. If you've already got a web host and you find a name that you like, then go ahead and purchase it. Okay, let's head on over to hosting, and I'll see you there.